You're right. A little shine to the ground when you look at it. It's kind of foggy. I mean, it looks clear right here. But about this point, I should see a yard light about the middle of the screen on the other road, and it's not there. And over that way, I should see the neighbor's house. There's always a light on it this time of morning. I can see car lights up there coming down the hill. And a little more than fog at the moment. It's kind of drizzly. Supposed to be nice today, just overcast. I don't know. Anyway, make my way out here. Figure out what I'm gonna do. Been watching YouTube videos this morning. There we go. Let the bosses all in. Missing one. Blue must still be in bed. Didn't pay attention to that this morning. So hopefully Ty remembers to grab Maury's little pump so he can pump some fuel. Amazon's supposed to show up with the plugs for this today. This only takes one plug, but one at a time. By the time you paid shipping, it was cheaper to buy the 4-pack that was free shipping. There's a 2-pack too, but you had to pay shipping on it. So by the time you paid shipping, it was more than a 4-pack. Because I told Ty, grab 2. If you get 2, we got an extra. You know, because you never know. So, hopefully get that thing out of here today. And maybe, if I'm lucky, I think I'll start getting some shit moved out of here. I mean, stuff's kind of separated into things. And that's all electrical in there. I still got to do something with those. But I got to make another post out of the pipes are on the other side of that wall out there. But I really don't have a spot without causing issues in here. But I did get, the sawhorses are usable. They aren't buried with stuff like they were. So, anyway, see what today brings. Creatures of habit. I didn't feed in there because there's not very many in. So the first 2.5 sections of the main feeder from this end going the other way. They watched me do it. They're going to stand here. And there's Gimpy girl. She's walking pretty good this morning. A little behind the rest, but she's moving a lot better than yesterday. And yeah, they're just not going to figure it out. And obviously people are waking up. My phone's vibrating like crazy. It's a group text between me, Thailand, Brooke, and Becky. So, Brooke and I are at. Probably nobody else. Thailand might be. Becky's probably still asleep. Oh yeah, and by the way, I talk about designs of things. I know a lot of you think this is pretty cool. It is, but climbing up and down on there and setting buckets up there and walking that plank every day, especially as I get older. Mom and Dad both quit walking that plank when they were probably younger than I am. Oh, looks like Maury's involved in that group text too. So anyway, when this was built, Mom and Dad moved here. That wall is the original wall off of a 2-bay lean-to. That was the machine shed. The old barn that was here set where this low roofed section is. And Dad built that in stages over there, get this part done. Then the next year get this part done and then go from there. In 1970, we built this part. that's the original concrete from 1970. The original feeders, original concrete there, all the original boards. That's all original from 1970. All the at least twice used tin on the wall. New roofing tin though. And the deck must have been about the same time, because that's always been there to be able to feed. The idea was, I don't know, really. I mean, Mom always thought the feeder should have been in a different spot, so you didn't have to get up there. Worst thing is with it up there, when you get a couple bigger ones in here and they get to fighting over it. And that's a 20-foot section between poles. That's 20 foot down there. Next one's either 18 or 20, and the last one's a short section, but it's a long ways between supports for the top of that feeder. And they can get her wiggling pretty good. But anyway, I mean, it would have been kind of nice if the feeder was over here and you could just walk down here, but then that screws up the next pin and, you know, cause and effect. So I can't complain about it too much. Easier to clean without a feeder in the middle. But yeah, we got what we got. We deal with it. These are all things that you roll around in your head so you get a better design if there's ever a next time. And trust me, I mean, if this barn, something happened to it, we had to rebuild, I've got about 10 different designs and I don't know which one to use. But they're all in my head. And they all have to do with the slope of the ground and how to make it work. And part of it ends up kind of restricting what you can do. And part of it just ends up making things a pain in the ass. Kind of like these guys. Yeah, pain in the ass. Alrighty. Yeah. Can you say we got too much shit? There's the tank I was going to use. 150 gallons. It's clean. It's actually got, I don't know, 3 to 5 gallons of fuel left in it maybe. But that sucker's just heavy enough. I picked the end up. It's like, no. Between me and Ty, we're not going to sneak it out of there along the building. And while I was over there, I was looking. Bumper off a truck with a utility box on it. Right underneath that is a head gate that matches the one that's on our chute. And then I was looking underneath that crap. That's the bottom of another brand of head gate that we bought from some friends after the lady's husband died. And she sold everything off. So I got head gates. I just got to put one of them in. Don't know which one we're going to use. And the kids' old swimming pool, aka 300 gallon stock tank, was over the top of this to keep it clean. There's 2 100 gallon tanks that I took off the truck we scrapped a long time ago. Had that on a service truck for quite a few years. I did it so that I could carry truck fuel and off-road. So the pump mounted here, and obviously my plug's full of shit. Valve to each one, so you pick which tank you wanted. One of these tanks has got, you know, they put metal chains on the cap so you don't lose the cap, and then change brake. Well, metal laying in the bottom of an aluminum tank causes electrolysis. And, you know, get it in the air, I'll see which tank's the bad one. It's been welded up, but anyway, hold 100. You know, one don't leak at all, the other one might leak. I don't remember if it was leaking when we were done with it or not, but it's been off and welded up. So, since this is right out here in the open, except for Ty's car in the way, so what we're going to use, easiest thing to get to, work just the same. If you gotta have her move her car, and then I can get in here and pick it up, and do it to it. There's Maury's pump and hoses, my battery. That's empty now. The other tank has enough, it should be alright. This tank is now up to the neck, but being on the hill, that puts it. But it should be enough to suck it up and fire.
At least start.
Blue truck, I thought, had almost full tank. I was mistaken. We sucked some out of the driver's side because it was a little fuller than the passenger side. And the Volvo sitting at the other end of the big bale barn had some in it. It probably has enough to start, but you ain't gonna go down the road with it. So yeah. And she texted Grandma to say we need to get some truck fuel, and how am I supposed to pay for it? So,
Well, like how,
you know, who knows? You know better after lunch than before. Still can't see too far. Nice clear right here though. Well, cracked a couple lines, pumped it up. At least this one you can actually get to the primer pump. And what I can tell is it's got a rubber line piggybacked off the top of that filter housing. And I think it goes to the return. So if you can hear that noise, that's air going through and back to the return. And when I get this pumped up, I start it. It runs for a minute and dies. I've done it about 6 or 7 times now. Kind of hoping Ty would quit screwing around and come over here and she can run the starter, and I'll do like you got to do on the newer shit. Give a little breath of ether. Anybody's wondering, a pumpkin over there with an N14 in it, that's how you prime them. You gently run them on ether until they get the diesel up. And, you know, I could probably go through and crack injector lines and all that crap, but sometimes it isn't worth it. Well, Amazon came while I was trying to prime that thing. I didn't want to have to break any injector lines loose, but I don't have a choice. I even looked online. Everything says, yeah, crank 3 of them loose. Frick me, I didn't want to do that. But anyway, just put the new plug in. And I lied. I thought it was a 4-pack. It was a 3-pack. It was still cheaper than buying 2. Or buying 1 and paying the shipping.
It's fucking $15.
But that's only got like an hour on it. Excuse me. And that was, you know, after cleaning it up as good as I could with what we got. And the bitch is, it's in there where you can't get to. But hey, check this out. See what happens. Just like it's supposed to. So, let it there 3 or 4 times, had it firing, couldn't keep it running. If you look it up, it says to do 3 of them at the injector. I got that one wouldn't budge. That one I couldn't get on. That one wouldn't budge, so I did 2. 4th time of doing both, had it running for almost a minute, a couple of times. And now we're gonna see if it'll start again. Just like it's supposed to. Well, hopefully that's that.